okay, baby. I'm freaking ready. I got mags. I got MREs for like 30 days. I got water.
John,
I'm set.
You're doing too much.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think we should talk about a plate carrier that you have over here, civilian plate carrier, guys.
Yes, a loadout that's more acceptable than what's behind us.
Exactly, unlike the 308 gun with
This
the
is peak
5.56
performance.
mags.
Let's dive right into it.
Let's do it. Welcome back to Class Firearms, guys. Kaya here with Jason.
What's going on, folks?
And we've got Elliot Delp from Elliot Delp YouTube channel. Dude, great having you here.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I enjoy the opportunity to come on here and talk about some of the stuff I use.
Love that. We did another video with him. You guys got to check that out. A little top 5 fight.
Yeah.
You guys will have to see yourself. With that being said, today we're going to talk about civilian loadout plate carrier, which this is yours, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
So this is my personal kind of go-to plate carrier.
Okay.
Before we get into it, I think it's important to note like my experience, or I guess lack thereof, military experience.
It's experience.
So I don't have any law enforcement or military background. What I do have in terms of is, using this plate carrier for quite some time now, probably 2 or 3 years with the HRT stuff. And then, going to courses with it. And then, all the videos that we film, typically I'm wearing this plate carrier because this is kind of like my go-to rig.
Okay.
This is an HRT rack,
Okay.
so RAC. And this is kind of their mid-line in terms of plate carriers. So they have an H-rack and they have an L-back. The H-rack kind of is like the rack, but it's stripped back a little bit. And the L-back has a whole internal system that kind of does load distribution.
Okay.
It's for like carrying like tons of like breaching gear and mags and ammo and all that great stuff. So the HRT rig, this thing is awesome. It's really well made, double stitched nylon. The nylon is really nice, water resistant. It's been heat resistant. I've been a very big fan of this plate carrier in general.
It feels pretty good. Are they a U.S. company?
Yeah, they are. They're out of Ohio.
Oh, nice.
What's up?
Very
Yeah.
nice.
So there you go. You're talking about the special type of rigs, right? If we turn this to the side, you've got a lot going on this thing, man. You've got tubes up front. You've got like an assaulter's pack in the back. You've got padded shoulder straps.
Yeah, so what I like about this, and then kind of how it caters to me the best,
Okay.
is the modularity of this.
Okay.
So this is a placard system carrier.
Right.
A lot of people are going to placard systems, instead of like the Molly in. I really like it because I can easily switch to like just a normal chest rig if I wanted to. So I have that in the back here for my top. I have normal straps and a kind of back piece to cover up the Velcro.
Okay.
But what's good about this is where we do so much different content on the channel. One of the things I like about it is I can throw on a shotgun placard. If I'm running my shotgun, like if I'm doing a 1301 review or something like that, or if I'm doing AR-10 stuff, it's easy to swap in my AR-10 placard system for it. So I really like that, and it's good for people that have different types of stuff they're wanting to accomplish, whether you want to wear your carrier for like something like taking long range shooting or doing kind of like your CQB class, or whatever you want to do with it.
Especially with that, that's a great name of the game, right? Modularity, right? You don't have to be married to one thing. So
Yeah.
it's really mission adaptable, and whatever floats your boat, man. So that's what's
Yeah,
up.
absolutely. You got, everybody's got their own little styles, obviously. And you said there's different styles of this one, and this is the medium.
Yeah, this is kind of like the medium ranged one. The big differences between this and the H-rack, which is the one down from this, is this one comes with zipper panels for the back. That's one of the big things. Just like off the top when you look at them, but just little things.
Yeah, when I look at any plate carriers, anytime you have a setup, I like, first thing I look at is like how tight everything is. Right? It just needs to be, if you got a molly, you got to do it a solid way. Because when you're running, you don't want things just jiggling around. Or if you're crawling, jumping fences, whatever you're doing, you don't want things
compact.
it needs to be as close to your body as possible. And some folks really, besides being tight, they just keep adding things.
Yeah, layers and layers.
Yeah, if you're not used to running with plate carriers and you got a lot of stuff, you start running, you're now top heavy. There's a better chance of you just actually falling down. Also, when you try to prone, it doesn't work well.
And that, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
So this is the Maximus placard system on it. Here, I'll flip it around for the front. you can see there's a lot going on up here. There's mags, of course, and you have 2 side panels here. I run a multi-tool and extra Glock mag, but then you have 2 admin pouches.
Okay.
One of the things that I tend to swap the most is this between a normal kind of just mag pouch.
Okay.
Because sometimes when you're going prone, this placard does extend a little bit far down. So I bounce between those two a lot.
Okay.
But I like this a lot for like my range day stuff because I can easily have like my rag in there, some tape, some markers, and then a tourniquet in this side.
Okay.
That's good. Are you a lefty?
No.
Just asking.
No.
Why do you have this on the right side? I'm just curious. That's all.
I use this a lot. I don't hardly ever use it.
Guys, this is like your emergency.
Yeah, this is like the last one I.
Because you got your stuff on your belt.
Yeah,
right?
I've got my stuff on my belt.
Gotcha.
So I run my pistol mags on my belt. This is used way more than my extra mag up here because I be messing with crap all the time.
Yeah, no, I get it. No,
So you got all the GP pouches up front or the admin stuff. You got your mag placard. That's awesome and cool. Mag orientation, it really whatever that you want to do floats your boat. Most people, if you're right-handed shooter, you normally turn them the other way. But it is what it is. If you train with that, you train with that. So it is what it is. You got comms in here as well.
Yeah. So
right?
this is just a very basic bag of fang.
Gotcha.
Nothing
Fang
crazy.
gang.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's super simple.
Right.
You can communicate easily with other people that have them, and it's just
Now the question is, do you have this program with freaks where you live?
No, I don't.
That's a different type of licenses. Licensing for that one.
Yeah. Ham
What they
license.
don't know
Yeah.
won't hurt you.
This is you, like you out there, you do a little training. With
Yeah.
your buddies, you put them in the same frequency.
Remember, you can listen in. You just can't broadcast.
Yeah.
So exactly.
Yeah.
I only listen. So if we pop this off, I have this in here with just a little mag pouch. This is a Warrior Poet Society one, so they do a lot of collaboration with HRT Tactical.
Yeah.
I really like this a lot. It's held up very well, so I'm a big fan
It's
of it.
good to kind of get it tight and nice out of the
No, and it is.
place,
It's
yeah.
really nice to get it out of the way. The cord management works. I'm able to just loop my hand through there, and then it's easy peasy in terms of running it. And I don't feel like there's too much going on this plate carrier. I like to, when I run my stuff, I like to just have like the essentials, like my mags and stuff. We talked about maybe side panels earlier.
Yep.
But I also don't like putting anything on my sides.
I understand that. I just know from I'd
Yeah,
rather
no.
have it than not,
Yeah,
than
no,
not
no,
need it.
I get that.
Yeah.
They do get in the way. I
Yeah.
used to run a little med pouch just right there because I want to be able to get to it in case I'm alone. It's just something. And dude, things get in the way. If you put mags, like your admin mags, like that one right there, right? It actually, you start bumping with your elbows.
Correct.
It actually gets in the way. It kind of throws you off a little bit. If you have a metal mag, you start cutting you a little bit. I've been there. So I like to keep sides empty as slim profile as possible.
Well, how do you feel about side armor, though?
What do you mean?
Having side armor?
Oh, yeah. I mean, here's the deal. It's one of those, like, tactical worlds, right? Guys, there's always a risk versus reward, right? So, yes, side armor is going to give you that extra protection. Where are you at? What are you doing?
Right.
Do you really need that extra weight for a protection about that little area?
Right.
What are you doing? It really, a lot of times people are using that, of course, good for rounds, blast deflection, all that stuff, too. So, for me, I personally don't run it on my current setup. For what I do nowadays as a civilian, I decided that not having it is more advantageous to me than having it for what I do.
So I take it you run side.
I do run side plates, and when I say side plates, they're not really at my like 9 and 3, right? They're more of closer to like 2 o'clock and 11 o'clock.
Oh, you adjust, you kind of pull them forward,
I
right?
pull them forward just to give me that little, basis right here, because if I do have to square with a target, God forbid, and at least have a little bit more protection, because there are vitals around this.
No,
thing,
yeah.
Your kidneys, your liver, all that jazz.
So you made a good point earlier when we were discussing on camera, like peeking around corners and stuff like that.
Correct.
I mean, it's there to protect you,
right?
And it's like you said, it's a personal decision on the kit on whether or not you run it.
Yeah. So swinging around to the back, man. I'm really intrigued by this back panel.
All right. So this back panel, it's I think relatively slim in terms to like personal opinion. It's like a backpack or something that extrudes a little bit further. Okay. The main pouch is meant for kind of like a camelback or something like that. I don't have that in there. What I do have is, like I had mentioned, my easy conversion to a chest rig on the top part. So this is something that like I don't plan to access this stuff,
Right?
Because I can't get to it.
Right.
So this is like I drop it and I want to go just chest rig.
Right.
That's easy to go. And then on the bottom, I have just a little windbreaker in here.
Okay.
Just in case, you know.
Okay.
And so nothing crazy in the back. And then if you don't want to run it, it's super easy. You just unzip it.
Right.
You can, and this is a QD setup, and QD means obviously quick detach. Anybody who doesn't know, it's just right here. You just pull this, and you're obviously good to go.
Tubes.
Yeah,
The-
I
yeah,
really
tubes.
like the tubes.
And they're very good, you know, if in case you obviously fall into water, you can undo that. You get, God forbid, hurt, you can do that. And also, if you really need to, in an emergency, you're by yourself in the woods, you're doing whatever, you can just drop that and access your backpack as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So it definitely is a very big thing on the whole QD. I love QD.
And then also, there's a buckle up here. So if you want to get out of it super quickly, pull your tubes on that side, pull the buckle, and it just falls
And
off.
falls right off. Exactly. And those are important because a lot of times, especially old school plate carriers, you guys know, like you just do a lot of Velcro and this and that. It's on you. It's nice and tight, but you are not going to be able to take that thing off in an emergency. So it definitely is important to have these QD attachments. Which, speaking of QD, we have this Guard Dog, a plate carrier over here. They actually have this Cobra style nowadays. You guys know those Cobra buckle on your belts, right? You just basically do this and it comes right off. That's actually something different, let's just say. My setups have obviously the QD, and I know Guard Dog also has a tube setup too, but this new plate carrier that they have, they're offering these, which is, you know, pretty easy, pretty
different.
cool.
It's unique.
Different, exactly. It's just like your belt setup. People, if you're using a Cobra belt, then you're used to detaching and attaching this style as well. And other than that, they obviously, what plates do you have on that?
So the plates on here are Ace-Link plates.
Okay.
What level?
They're level 4.
Okay.
So
Let me see how heavy is this thing? I'm curious. Not bad. It's about the same weight as my plate carrier that I would say.
yeah. So we really like the Ace-Link stuff. We think they make really good plate carrier or plates.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've been real big fans of them. We have
Ceramic?
2 or 3 sets. Yeah. Ceramic plates.
Ceramic plates, yeah.
So
Yeah, we got the, so just in case anybody's wondering what they look like, generally your ceramic plates look, this is a level 4. They look just like this. They're about an inch thick. And this thing weighs, I mean, I think it's, 5.7 pounds right here. You put one up front, one in the back. It's good to go all the way up to like armor piercing
30-06.
30-06, good to go. So there's that. That's what they look like. That is it. And
So I have a
what
question
else?
for both of you guys. So I'm here to learn just as much as I'm here to talk.
Go.
What do you guys think you would change about this plate carrier if it was for either you or for your setup or scenario?
Okay. Well,
And then keep in mind, like, also, I guess what you're using it for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in this aspect, the way that you've got it in my mind is normally like a breacher or a salter's pack. So right off the bat, like you said, this back panel is pretty much not for you to access. It's for you for you and for people to hand you stuff. But you can fit a good pair of bolt cutters in here.
Yeah.
You can fit at least 1, 2, 3 slaps in here, if you know what I'm talking about. You can also fit a little bit of a hoolie tool in there if you need be. So definitely a breacher is a salter pack. When it comes to the side panels, again, we said different strokes for different folks. I like a little side armor on there, just for me. Because if you are doing a breaching stuff, you're pretty much the one who's in the line of fire all the time, right? If you're not point man. Other than that, the only thing that I'm seeing on here that I really would change is I would add medical. That's my biggest thing. I would have some type of dangler.
You don't like my tourniquet in there?
Yeah, brother, you're gonna need more than just a tourniquet to get there.
So
blow up kit, all that jazz.
Yeah,
So,
I run that on my back on my belt.
So I was gonna say that. So medical is important. I've used it. Not every medical is for you getting shot.
correct.
Obviously, that's the ultimate thing, right?
Door
But
band-aids?
Yeah,
you
exactly. You really do get hurt at the range training, or even during an actual op. You can just jump a fence. I had a sergeant a while back. We were jumping a fence, and he had his wedding ring on. After that, he never wore it after that incident. He just was jumping a fence. The ring got caught on the metal fence, just completely tore his ring finger. like it was just so freaking bad. He needed reconstructive surgery, right?
Dang.
And so we use obviously little med pouches that we had on us, med kits, and we kind of aided him as much as we could. So having something on you, which I was going to ask you, if it's not there, it's probably on
Yeah, it's on my belt.
right? Now we're talking about civilian plate carriers over here, so I'm really not going to go into like Jason's points are very valid, but that's on all the assaulter stuff,
Right.
you know, some of the law enforcement SWAT stuff. You're a civilian guy, you're out there doing your own thing. It really is customizable to operations, right?
Right.
You know, even you look at SWAT, I can only speak for the law enforcement and things. Even SWAT guys, they won't have the same thing. You'll have your fundamental stuff that's the same, right? They won't have the same thing for every op. And not every operator is going to have the same thing.
Yeah.
Your breacher is going to have something different than all those other guys. So in your case, what I like to do, I try to keep my front as slim as possible. I don't want personally more weight up front. Now I like having a little, like I don't like dangling. You know those like big dangling ones up front. I don't like having big ones, but there are small ones that I've seen. Those are very, very good for me to have a little admin pouch.
Right.
You know, little markers, whatever, some notepad, like little.
So instead of sending these out, they dangle.
Right.
Just ever so slightly. Like I mean that little. Nothing big, because those big ones, they get in the way.
Yeah.
Big
When you
danglers,
sit,
man.
Big danglers.
Yeah, they get in the way. When you sit down, they kind of bunch up, or even when you're like drawing your weapons sometimes in a stressful situation, they get in the way. It's happened to me. But little ones, they're good for a little admin pouch for you to just utilize a bunch of things. You can have a little tourniquet over there. I have mine on my belt, good to go, and a med kit in the back. And for your backpack, that's good to go. You don't want to have too much stuff on there too, because hallways are narrow. Even though you're a civilian, you're moving around. Your brain is programmed. If you're going around a corner, you just know who you are.
Yeah.
Okay. You know you're going to be just fine clearing that corner. But as you're doing this, you just hear this like something just fall into the ground.
Facts.
You just hit your backpack to it. So that's why I try to keep it as narrow as possible. I like a slim profile kit overall. But still, depending on what you're gonna do, you need to have what you gotta have.
Yeah.
That's when you weigh your options.
Right. And set up your own personal SOP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Always roll into, good old habits die hard. 2 is 1. So I do, on my plate carrier, I have medical on my plate carrier and on my belt. So that's just me. Because you never know. You might blow out and need to fix something else, and then God forbid you get hit, what do you have left? Nothing. So that's just my 2 cents.
And maybe the second one, just like I have in my other plate carrier that I don't have it here, we use it at Buck Doyle. I've got a medical in my backpack.
Right.
Like I've got one on my belt.
Yeah.
I've got it in my backpack. It's a little bit smaller. But other than that, the side plates, again, for me, I mean, very valid.
Yeah.
Right?
Personal preference.
It's not gonna hurt you, but for me, I try to keep that thing slim, make it tight around my waist, so I can just get in out of vehicles, move around a little bit easier. That's my personal thinking. Comms, I mean, absolute must. You're out there doing stuff, have comms on you. And that's it. Other than that,
What's one thing that we learned this past week? What? Have you looked at yourself under nods? And see how reflective it is.
That's
I don't know how reflective this is under nods.
So that's another thing. A lot of people never take in consideration the actual IR reflectivity of the nylon that they're doing. So I would research that and see how it comes up, because you might stick out like a sore thumb under IR. So.
Especially if you have your comms, like if this has like little...
No, yeah, that would
Just
fly.
It just shows a white.
Dude, it's so insane. Like under nods, right? Like you have tiny little light. Like you look at a car. I was looking at one of the cars that had a little red light, and I just thought somebody had a flashlight on under nods. And I just looked up. The car looked all illuminated. You just remove your nods.
Can't see anything.
It's
Yeah,
tiny.
night vision's insane.
And lastly, I do identifiers. I'm a big fan of identifiers. So have some identifiers, your blood type. If you're a civilian, police, law enforcement, you're a pastor, John, like you just, what's former? Just, I really do like identifiers.
No, I think the identifiers is a really good option. Maybe just like, because I have all this unused space back here.
Oh, chem lights too, by the way. Chem lights are
lights.
freaking awesome. I have chem lights too.
Identifiers would be cool, little patch identifiers.
Yeah, do some. Like mine has, unfortunately, one of them got stolen, unfortunately. It says EKIA right here, EKIA up there, my name. Got an American flag. I mean, on duty, obviously say police up front and back. I got my little blood type on there. And that's it. That's all I have. just my name, blood type, and flag. That's because I'm proud, right?
Yeah.
That's about it. Other than that, dude, I think this is a good setup for what it is. It's not all that heavy. Your profile is not all that much up front or to the back.
Right.
Like some people, like seriously,
overload the front.
just
man. It
like
becomes sloppy.
we got this plate here, right? The guard dog one's right here. You get little pistol pouch right here, and do you see Velcro right here? They'll fill this up and they'll put another one up here.
Right.
Then it starts to extend out.
It's the pyramid effect.
Yeah.
You see. You know what I'm saying? This is the base, and then they start going
That's right.
farther and farther
Yeah.
out. So.
Slimmer profile, and things just dangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
And move and make noise.
Yep. That's my thing. Other than that, pretty good. You got anything else over there?
Oh man, just
My little Team Wendy helmet.
Team Wendy helmet. Love it. You know, does good. Ballistic.
Good to go.
Well, guys, I appreciate it. I appreciate the invite onto the channel, and then the insight, and then big shout out to HRT because I love their shit.
It's a nice carry, man. I can't deny.
Dude, I said it before we get out of here, just having a little chem lights, man. I used to have like 4 on me. One time I just realized, oh my God, 4 is not enough.
Do you do different colors though?
Do different colors, absolutely.
go.
Having chem lights, dude, they're so cheap. You can throw a bunch in your backpack too.
Yeah.
Just have a few sticking out. They actually do come in handy.
Yep.
Significantly.
Yep.
Just to let you know. Like
Do you like the lights, or do you like those little
just bring
the little ones?
So it depends on what it is. I personally like the semi full size ones. It lets me know, green for just active marking, red for EOD hazard if you know, or just stuff like that for marking out places where you've been, where you need to go, and all that jazz. So
yeah, that's good stuff.
Yep.
Anyways, guys, let us know your thoughts overall. And speaking of night vision that we just talked about, you got a helmet over there.
yeah, man, I've got your Team Wendy over here, man, with these ears on it. Nice little, first of all, ballistic helmet.
Yeah,
Team
Exfil.
Wendy. Exfil. Team Wendy is a great company in itself, right? Along with Guard Dog as well.
Yeah, we got
Guard Dog
the
as well over there.
guard dog with the cover.
Yep.
It's a obviously black one with the multicam
Yeah.
cover. This is a 3A as well.
Right. Remember, protecting your body and protecting your noggin are two of the most important things.
Hey
So,
man, at night you're gonna need those nods to stay somewhere.
absolutely. I mean, you can do it with a skull cap, but it sucks.
Even with helmet, there's something.
What I find with going bump helmet versus something like this, I think of weight and counterbalancing a lot. I think ballistic helmets are the way to go when it comes to night vision.
I agree. I have both. So I have ballistic and bump. I normally run my bump for anything like that we're doing. If it's not a serious matter, Kaya normally runs his ballistic. So there you go. Neck muscles to prove it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
Well,
man.
that's the only one I have. I mean, I have the guard dog as well, but these are ballistic as well.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Yeah, this is this is 3A guys right here.
So there you go. Something to protect your, call it a brain bucket for a reason, and then something to protect your body. So there you go.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we can come and do a helmet setup.
Maybe we come and do night vision stuff too.
Oh, I'd love to do night vision stuff.
There you go.
Fully killed. Do you have a night vision?
Yeah.
Everybody freaking has night vision. All right. So, well, we want to thank Elliot for coming out here, filming with us, hanging out. Great meeting you, brother.
Yeah, I
Good
really
setup.
appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate both of you guys for having us out.
Of course, Jason, you got anything?
Man, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's stuff like this over at CF Contest, right?
That's right, guys. Go to CF Contest. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
We're
So
not
he knows
allowed
what we're.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've checked it out.
Well, he knows it too. He knows the YouTube world nowadays. Well, if he didn't, he knows now. So, guys, CF Contest, Google that. You'll know what I'm talking about. Good things happen there. You'll see some cool stuff there. I don't know when you're gonna be watching this video, but whenever you do, good stuff will be there. So, with that being said, thanks a lot for tuning in. We appreciate your business,
God bless.
and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.